Welcome back to watching some more anime, and despite the weather, it's going to get quite cold. Of course, starting out on the journey has been difficult, finding those to actually accept them on the adventure. It's kind of tricky to have a whole bunch of high school people just travel to the extremes of the world. I really hope they're ready. I don't think there's been much, training, much practice for the temperatures they'll be facing. And they've got to stop off at Australia. Really couldn't be much worse. But I want to find out where this goes, how the group is going to be stretched thin. Are they going to remain new acquaintances throughout it? Strap yourselves in so that we can find out and watch a little bit more of what's further than the universe. As I mentioned, training, exactly what is needed throughout this, but also the fact that she's actually carried through with the idea. I mean, they can laugh all they want, prove it by actually going. I mean, yeah, sure. Rub their faces in it. Having a dream and a goal that others berate you for, just to turn around and prove them wrong, is a good feeling. And to be honest, normal high school students' first instincts probably aren't, let's travel to the poles of the earth. Yeah, I'm guessing that we're going to see quite a few, or later on, or at least. I don't know if landmark is the right word, but some things to be kind of memorable. Base camps and the like, icebreaker ships. But I do like the idea that, yeah, I've said it back in episode 1 of this, really. You got just friend group slice life type thing mixed in with extremes. Whose idea was it to film caterpillars? And how many, signatures and whatnot are they going to... Have you even mentioned it to your family? Oh, which means she's composing herself quite well. It is going too well. They are diving straight into the lion's den. But what else is in that bag? A landmine! She thought it prudent to get them. I would like it if the if there was more going on here, yeah, some double bluffs and extra playing, or if it is just complete overreaction anxiety in their mind. Ah. Okay. At least staple. Okay, hearing it from a neighbor. Hmm. Oh no. Is she going to leave with any kneecaps? The weapon. Nothing can be more terrifying than an older relative carrying a spoon. Protect her. He was saving himself. Just hold the door until the noise stops. I mean, at least they were somewhat accepting. I don't believe my parents would have even given me the time of day if I said that I wanted that kind of trip, let alone put out limits like you've got to pass every exam. Although I didn't ever fail any, so it wouldn't have been hard. What's going on in the background? I mean, is sure, but if you don't put in the effort, you're going to regret that. Is she regretting pushing her forward, like telling her to actually look into it in the first place now? Never thought she'd actually be that proactive. Blech. To a degree. She Huh. And considering this is for the big trip and whatnot, she's got a bit more flexibility, but does she actually have the time to hang out and do things or get the say so, the agreement for it? It's a a tough life. Yeah, it definitely looks like somewhere you're meant to be. Okay, cool. As long as the back door doesn't suddenly open. Well prepared. At least it was files and paperwork rather than trash. I mean, yeah, what were you? What, slick limousines and everything? It's not a particularly well-funded well-funded routine, these expeditions and whatnot. More private ventures most of the time. I mean, well, it would definitely help, but do not use tape deck. Yeah, definitely strapped for cash. Also, the woodwork trim for the dashboard. Oh, that sends me back. One of my parents' old cars had something similar. It was all, for lack of a better word, fucked. maybe you should use cleaner language. So this training that they're having, and why is my eye so itchy? Is it going to be, just general survival tips and tricks, some things they have going to be using or around, or actual outside ventures? I mean, I didn't know. It doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know Argentina had that many bases. And putting on the professional demeanor here. A woman in charge? Impossible. They will be expected to pull their weight. And hard labor. Unfortunately, common sense isn't really that common anymore, but I mean, as long as it's easy to remember ABC, make it home alive. Let's hope that one isn't too hard to accomplish. It's a lot more than just a little winter trip. Illuminate. Yeah, there's probably quite a lot of unresolved feelings and emotions regarding missing parents, and now the offspring has tagged along. She wasn't ever going to say no. Take no for an answer. But how hard is it for them to have, a constant reminder of a old team member? Flat? Well, it depends how flat. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is actual basic training and showing them how to get along with the basic goings on in the Antarctic. I think reading a compass and a map is at least the least they could learn. Yeah, that's going to work. Compass and a satellite transceiver. The amount of people who don't know how to use a compass is astounding. What were they aiming for? I mean, you can test it, really. I think my dominant is the right, but who's right? The eye is in the detail, after all. And are we just going to learn at the end of this that they were going around in circles or something? So, the one that was you were meant to bring along, how is she meant to fare without these three tagging along? Was she going to go through the same rigorous routine, the same training? You're doing it by feet? Okay. To be fair, yeah, they've got to get this down pat, and hopefully, I mean, is it because she believes it's a pistol? She's an amazing marksman. And I've forgotten what I was going to say. Okay, get all this done, all the training down, get it muscle memory so they can do it in the field with the added complications of weather. Now sleep. Just being ordered. Oh, that would help. Yeah, it definitely feels as though there might be a little personality clash in moments like this. Hmm? That's what they were laughing about. So, by the end of this training, how many corpses they're going to have to retrieve? I mean, she was always a little reserved and quiet, so you won't know if she's sleeping. Expressions being exchanged. General air. So much like this trip here, some high school students going on a trip together. And is that going to hammer down a bit more of the immediate danger to them here? I get that she would, reach out and want to comfort her, much like how she just latched herself onto the other girl and gave her a hug. I guess not, maybe not the exact appropriate time for all that, but I don't see why you would tell her not to. I mean, you can see quite a lot in the night sky, especially when there isn't any light pollution. Alive and present. Actually having many of the routines, like the check-ins, can save your life. how many messages are going to be sent and never received. Now, I get that she's doing part of this as a big closure for it all, but her constantly sending them other messages throughout all of this. Sending them other messages like keeps her alive in her mind, kind of thing. Wow, that's actually pretty damn good. I like when you can see mist and maybe lower level clouds and whatnot below you. So it's hereditary, is it? Yeah. To not get bogged down by extra stuff, to have optimism to push through. You definitely need someone like that, but wanted to do something slightly different with your life, to have a story to go back to, or go back with. Now she's too invested to back out. Okay. Still pretty cold, though. Now that is a wake-up call. I think my alarms in the morning are a little more pleasant to wake up to than that, but still. To have that backdrop as a shaved ice. Do you really want shaved ice from the Antarctic? Or in the Antarctic? But to have that backdrop as a kind of true kick-off point for their adventure, really solidifying it. It's one hell of a memory. Yeah, like I've been alluding to, I know what extremes can lead to. Extreme temperatures, extreme isolation, pushing your body to the limit. Is that cheerful nature of hers going to push the others away? Or will it be more of a grounding factor for them? And while, I think we are all on the same page as to her mother. Since if someone goes missing in the Antarctic and isn't heard from for years, there's not many places that they can be. That you can't just hide out on one of the bases and not get found. Yeah, she's definitely feeling a little isolated now after sending a friend away. Now, I like the idea that it's setting up this little interpersonal drama. Not drama, but the rest, the captain on this trip and the rest of the adults here, they've got a lot of unresolved feelings about this, about letting the daughter on a trip where they lost the mother. Setting up, I'm in two minds, because do you want them to find her? No. Not really. Yes, but no. But going there, not being able to find anything, what's that going to do to her mind? Is she just now going to go even further on the deep end? Also, how much of an issue is it to have someone on the team who has lost family members here, and is the sole reason that they're joined on so hard is to find them? If they get a inkling, if they get a lead, are they going to be able to follow protocol? Are they going to wait, call in their position and whatnot, or is it going to dash off and put themselves in danger? Also, considering we're now 4 episodes in and haven't even left basic training, I really want to, move on, see the sights and get them into the Antarctic and whatnot, but haste is a dangerous game, both for them, because if they don't learn at all, they will die. And for me, it's this moment here, the quiet before the storm, the setup for it all, which really grounds in how much effort it how much effort it is to actually do these things. We see scientific expeditions and excursions and whatnot fairly often, but you don't really appreciate the amount of preparation that goes into those things, or the amount of danger that they take upon themselves to do it. And so actually having that here, yes, it's kind of a light level, good-natured vibe of it because it is a friend group of high school girls, but it's an interesting thing, isn't it? And considering I am one that enjoys science and was part of the astronomy club, what that says about me, I'm not entirely sure. But seeing the things out there that possibly are open to the casual civilians if they were interested or had enough money to join along, it raises a few eyebrows. Gets my mind racing of what is out there if you look hard enough, and if you're interested enough in a topic. But then also, the family of hers reluctantly agreeing. We don't see much of the parents and the sisters and whatnot, how they really talked about all this between them, but considering the father hid and the sister was already giving a battle plan and direction of attack, I think the mother is a bit of the powerhouse of this household. But at least they care enough to care, and they're not immediately close avenues of interest to her, despite what it is she's trying to do. I'm also guessing, detached from the story, but I'm also guessing that the backgrounds and everything here are going to be those vistas and painted scenes and landscapes that we see in other shows and films and whatnot, where, yes, there's going to be a lot of white, but if you're a background artist, there's a lot of work to do if you're going to have tons of these morning scenes across the mountains or across vast snow vistas. And I know we saw the map of the various bases that are on the Antarctic continent, but is there any interaction between them? Obviously, if there's an issue with one of the bases themselves and they need to call out, then yeah, probably, because it'd be quicker than getting a helicopter or something out to them. But is there much collaboration usually, or does each team itself mostly keep to themselves for their own tasks? Something that I wanted to think about. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, well, you're in good company, because I did as well. If I did anything to entertain you, if this was just a nodding along and yes, this was quite fun, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out. Jump onto my my Discord for notifications when new things do get released, or my Patreon for full uncensored versions. Who doesn't like that? But for now, get yourselves some rest, sit down and relax. I hope to see you for the next one. It's been a very long time since I last went camping.